You are sitting on the edge of the couch. The television plays softly in the background. You feel the heavy silence pressing against your ribs. Your mind starts spinning through the exact same quiet questions. Why does this keep happening? Are we already done? Did I push too hard? Am I the problem? The relationship did not fade because your love disappeared. The distance actually formed because your shared safety vanished. You are not failing at this at all. Honestly, every couple that truly loves each other eventually stands here. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why avoidant partners finally break their silence, how to recognize their unspoken longing before it vanishes, and what to do differently so they start missing your steady presence. Let's get into it. Most couples believe emotional withdrawal means they simply stopped caring. But the real truth is much deeper than that. His distance is actually a nervous system trying to survive overwhelm. He pulls back because emotional pressure feels too heavy to carry. Your anxious chasing just tightens his protective walls even more. Real safety never actually leaves when tension fills the room. It simply goes underground and waits for peace to return. Not louder conversations, not endless compromising, not scheduling heavy check-ins that feel like audits, but two people who finally feel safe enough to breathe together again. This is not a behavioral checklist you need to memorize. It is an invitation to become someone who does not panic when space appears. When you regulate your own emotional rhythm first, his nervous system finally registers calm. And that quiet calm becomes the bridge he finally crosses. Here is the part no one talks about. Most couples treat quiet distance like a direct personal attack. They panic and chase. But beneath the surface, his nervous system is quietly begging for room to breathe. Your steady presence becomes a safe harbor. When you stop flooding the silence with demands, his attachment patterns naturally begin to soften. Instead of texting, "We really need to fix this," you leave a simple message saying, "No rush, I'm right here." That small shift changes the entire emotional weather between you. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Most people in relationships assume silence means complete detachment. They assume he moved on. But attachment science shows us something entirely different. His brain is actually cataloging every small moment you offered grace. He feels the absence of your warmth like a physical weight. When you give him space to miss you, his longing finally surfaces. Instead of demanding, "Tell me exactly how you feel," you quietly share, "I noticed how peaceful this morning felt." His inner voice quietly registers, "She actually sees me." That gentle shift turns absence into magnetic pull. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples try to repair disconnection through forced intimacy. They schedule dates and plan talks. But here's what nobody explains. Your nervous system cannot manufacture trust through a calendar invite. Emotional safety only returns through unscripted moments of genuine presence. When you stop performing connection, his defenses naturally lower. Instead of asking, "Where is this heading?" You quietly hand him a drink and say, "Just rest today." He feels the quiet permission to finally exhale. This isn't a communication hack you deploy during conflict. This is what it looks like when someone has learned to love without losing themselves. And when you do that, your partner stops feeling like a problem and starts feeling like a home. Here is the piece most couples completely overlook. Most people treat arguments like a battlefield where someone wins. They defend and attack. But relationship cycles actually thrive on emotional repair. Heavy conflicts are rarely about the actual topic at hand.
They're about two frightened people, proving they still matter. When you step out of the fight and step into repair, his nervous system calms down. Instead of listing old mistakes, you simply say, "I hate this heavy distance." Your calm tone tells him, "We are safe enough to try again." This isn't a trick for avoiding hard conversations. This is just what two emotionally mature people naturally do. And when you practice that, the quiet foundation between you grows strong enough to outlast every difficult season. This is the final truth that changes everything. Most couples wait for their partner to shift first. They hold their breath. But emotional connection never grows through patient waiting. It only expands when you become the steady anchor. When you stop pulling him closer and anchor your own worth, the entire dynamic shifts. Instead of waiting for his texts to validate you, you quietly build a life that feels full, alone. His nervous system finally reads, "She doesn't need rescuing." That quiet independence naturally draws him toward turning toward you again. Real intimacy isn't built in grand, dramatic declarations. It's built in the quiet moments when you choose yourself without abandoning him. And when you live that truth, you stop chasing love and start embodying it. This is not a checklist for managing his behavior. It is a complete invitation to transform your own foundation. When you internalize this awareness, you stop reacting from panic. You start responding from a grounded center. Your partner feels that quiet stability immediately. These are not surface tips for saving a relationship. They are the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you always hoped to stand beside. The heavy distance you feel right now is temporary. It was just a season of learning how to trust again. You do not need to force what is meant to return. You just need to become safe enough to welcome it back. Real intimacy does not start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one. If this perspective shifted something inside you today, subscribe and stay with us. We explore the real psychology of modern love every week, and your presence here truly matters. Thank you for showing up.